really, really good test suite, we know this is safe at this stage. So what should not happen is when it goes over to continuous integration and all tests run, right? That should be the same as this, right? Only if something really weird has happened is that not going to match this one, because we're all running on the same code base, right? It's not my branch, and then I have to merge it with yours, and oops, there's a merge conflict, and oh, I forgot about that bit, and no, none of that happens, right? And then at this stage, if all my tests run, and PJ goes through a whole lot, and if you look it up on his blog, you'll see there's a whole lot of things about which tests we run. We should be running performance tests and acceptance tests and like 20 different kinds of tests. I'm not going to go into the details of that. So then we can deploy. How do we deploy? We don't want to take our site down, right? How do we deploy? Blue-green. No, we're not going to blue-green deploy. Well, actually we are. I like blue-green deploy quite a lot, so I'm not going to be quite that radical. Anybody know the alternative to blue-green deploy? Replace the files. Anybody know what language you can do that in?
Node.
I don't know if you can in Node. That would be fantastic. The one I happen to know is called PHP. Shocking, but true. PHP runs a separate virtual machine for every single request. So it means if your request comes in with the old code, it'll be happily running, and I'll do an atomic replacement, right? So I'll do a symlink switchover in Unix. That'll mean that when the next request from me comes in, your code will happily be running on, your request will run on the old code, mine will run on the new code.
That doesn't work though, because a symlink actually takes some time. So on a LAMP stack server, you'll actually get a few white pages for customers that hit symlink while it's in the middle of processing.
And if you have a really good sysadmin, you can solve those problems, and that's what I delegate to my sysadmin, because I don't know how to solve that one. But I do know on the high-volume e-commerce website on which I did a lot of this stuff, and which I'm using as my model, we had that and we didn't care that much, because our customers really were so excited about cheap handbags that they just hit F5. So that was how we got around that problem. that may not work for you. If it's high enough volume, then yes, you do have a problem. You might need to do blue-green, or you might need to do something else to cleverly get around that problem. Just for a moment, make sure that as you're doing the switch, you're on the new code or the old code. All right, so now we've deployed, and now, yes, here's where we can do our user testing if we want to. Hey, wait a minute, shouldn't we have done that back here? Hang on a second. Well, the argument is that if we have high-quality tests, which of course we got because we wrote tests before we wrote any code, and we got acceptance tests from users who were very careful about making sure they told us about all the things that would make the application valuable. The only things we're going to find from our user testing and from our monitoring, right, so we're actually going to watch what users actually do, is anything that stuff missed, and that should be a relatively low volume of things. So for example, in that large e-commerce application, we didn't bother with any user testing, we just watched the site. And sometimes we'd take it down, and they'd phone us. And they'd also hit F5 a lot. So we just did a rollback, which of course, because we were just replacing the files, was very simple. Just unreplace the files, go back to the old version, and we'd take the site back up again. So there's a completely radical way to deliver the software, and that worked very well for us, and we made lots of money with it. So I hope I have completely annoyed all of you with my completely radical views. And you can talk to me more about fixing development teams or radical views of continuous integration after this, or by contacting me there. Thank you. Questions, arguments, tomatoes to be thrown.